Anton Treuer. Anishinaabemowin. Anishinaabemowin.
Yeah, Anton Tony Treuer. Wagush. Indigo. Nashke. Mia wagush.
Wagush. Kdo nim je pa wa?
Yeah. Nim na nagam.
Good nagam je. So that shit. People are watching the students. We were watching this video. Anish, why do you think it's very important to learn the language?
Yeah.
Anish, why is it important?
Ayapi Shinaanaga de Wendaman. Ani Nainwade Ani Mush. Roof, roof.
Yeah.
Ani Nainwade Gash against. Meow. Ani Nainwade Anishinaabe. Is it this right here? Gema yo o Gaiji Mina Guizian in a Wunewizing at Anishinaabe wing done weighing. This is our identity, the definition of who we are.
That's right.
And English comes from England, and you know, if that's the language we use, then we're using those thought patterns. And although English is a beautiful language too, this is what we were given, and this is how we know who we are, and this is the language that we use for spiritual communication as well as each other, and it's a totally different worldview.
So when you communicate, let's say with in a ceremony, that's why. Can you explain why that would be important when you're in communicating with the spirit world? Or
yeah, you know, I think all human beings have a common creator, and I assume that creator knows all languages. But at the same time, I've heard elders back home say things like, you know, the Great Spirit in his wisdom made other spirits and placed them amongst us. So it's almost like when we have children, they grow up and they have their own ideas and thoughts, and they can even advise us. And so when we do a ceremony, you know, we'll invoke the spirits in the four winds, our mother the earth, will, you know, Wayna Buju, and those spirits in this place also understand our language. Spirits in other places may be something different. And so it's a vehicle for communicating spiritual thought and practice that is more powerful. Not just more original, but more powerful for...
it comes from the heart.
Yeah. Gedeyanani. And if you think about, you know, the meaning behind words, it reveals a totally different way of thinking. Like for elder, Getchiaya'a, great being. Mindemuye, elder woman, one who holds things together. In English, old woman, elderly woman, aged woman. No wonder everybody wants a Botox injection, facelift, won't admit how old they really are. You know? In our way, you don't have to say, you know, manaji, gitchiaya'a. It's built right in with any word you could use to respect your elders. And with anything else, you know, how we look at the world and how we see things. Even when we say, you know, Gekawabame, I'll see you. Even if we aren't going to physically see somebody, we still say that because we know that it's not like we have souls. We are souls and we have bodies for a little while. We're still going to see somebody again in the spirit world, if not in this one, Gekawabame. And it invokes us affirmation of a soul-to-soul connection. Just with basic things that we do. Other languages have their own ways and they're beautiful too, but this is ours, and it's what keeps us recognizable to our ancestors and the spirits of the land.
That's what Bimaadzaawin.
Bimaadzaawin.
A way of life.
Yep. And as long as, you know, I understand, and I too have to navigate the non-native world. But I think many people, including many of our own people, just put too much emphasis on being good at that and not enough at being who we are. And the alternative to being an Anishinaabe for an Anishinaabe is not being white, it's being lost. And miwenji wanishinawad ni bua Anishinaabe iji gekain danzigwa awiwad. Is you want to wad game up in me do sigwa yo o in Wayman.
Anishkiki goes to school. How did you learn to, when you were small, young, little boy? Did you speak the language and then you learned it? How did you learn it?
Oh, nashkena. Giagashian gawin and giwawin gazy sin Anishinaabemowin. In Ginondan, ingi nondana ya pi gawin dash ingi na Aanishinaabemowin. Bijina go Oshkinawewian ingi baga kenda is yapi tain dagwak the nandige kenda man in wewin. Anojingi is chigepan ingi abiding ingi mawadasa ingi we kabitwa of kiwezi ban ni ba gija gijana kazaban win. Mishima gaiji Anishinaabemowin tago gawin weweni gijagan ashimusi. Minawa gaiji nondawag gagigadod gaiji winda mawashid gebu nawajingi nisero tam nawajingi abajitun yo hinwewin. Anoj kiabi ingi chige ingi nanda waba magone ta Ojibwe mojig daga nonagwa da mawadisagwa ingi binda kuna gapane Minawa gaiji na kwe taguan waji widu kagoyan. Minawa go ingi nandige kendan agindaman masanayaganan ingi abajitun nabanu tage makak. Minawa ma Bimaadzaawin ingi ayaman ingi gogwe Anishinaabe wisidunan ingi gogwe Aanikoobjigan eish gamdige kendaman eiji anokimaga ginwewinan anojingi is chige. Gish bin itawigi and abinujies. Ingo bibun de bizendam. Binishigo abajitud ikado in bejik. Gege ginwanja wia da bizendam. Binish wigashketud da abajitud. Wenji apitain da agwak we wenigo da agwanji indwa. Wage kendangego Anishinaabemowin and magin wewinan.
It should. Anishi, what would you suggest for a student to learn the language? Your first, a basic, quickly way to learn it. What would you suggest?
Yeah, gawin weni panasinun awia da nandige kendang wewin sanagad. Yeah, oda is chige. Yeah, nashkena. There's no one simple silver bullet kind of solution for learning a language or for anybody who knows their language to teach it either. It's tough both ways. But, like I was saying in Anishinaabemowin a minute ago, a child's going to hear a language for a whole year before uttering his or her first word. So somebody needs to log the airtime. They have to be patient with themselves. It's when a little baby is first learning how to walk, they're going to toddle and they're going to fall, and we don't say that was a mistake. Don't do that. We say good job. Ahawe weni no waj. And so I think it's important for those who know to encourage fledgling efforts. I think it's important for those who are learning not to be too self-critical or judgmental of their efforts. Stay patient, but pointed at the same time. Stay driven. It takes a lot of work. I think, although the way most of our good speakers have learned the language is as the first language in the home, being immersed for several years hearing nothing but their language, or almost entirely their language, at least until heading to school. It's very difficult to replicate that. If we wait for that to happen again, if we wait for it it has to start in the home, it'll never start. So we have to give ourselves permission to change up and do things a little differently too. So, what I've seen showing success are immersion schools for K-12. There's an adult immersion program in Fond du Lac that's showing a lot of success.
Oh yeah?
Successful second language learners really cutting their teeth. And they do a 3 to 4 week intensive summer program. Check your cell phone at the door, Gawin Gunagajagan Ashimowin, and then they touch up 1 weekend a month with the same format. And they've had a lot of success building people up. But, learning patterns in the language, you don't want to just do linguistics and not actually Awajitud Anishinaabemowin, but those things can sometimes speed up understanding of language. So if they learn 10 ways to change a word in 10 words, they've got 100 sentences, grows faster. So I think that can help people get some tools, and then if they don't have immersion all day, every day for 7 years in a row, when they do have a chance, they can go faster and get more out of it. So I think those tools help too, and people just got to stay at it. I ended up doing a lot of recording of good speakers and transcribing and transcription, translation work, and that helped me try to get in someone's mind.
Almost on a daily basis, I guess, right?
Yeah, and
Weekly basis, all the time.
yeah, because if you can't sit with somebody all the time, then there's a way to have access to language. And you'll see people, half our people live off reservation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in a language-rich community.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're working on that, they can do that wherever they are. You know?
Yeah.
And
nowadays we have laptops, iPods, and all these
Yep.
apps.
And ultimately, unless we're going to go Amish, wall ourselves off from the rest of the world,
Mhm.
and try to freeze our culture and language in time. If we're not going to do that, and that's a pretty big ask,
Mhm.
then we have to get those things speaking our language. So the cell phone, the Xbox, the TV, you know, all of that stuff needs to be speaking our language.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it'll just be a ceremonial language, you know,
Mhm.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for some of the other groups, like for the Maori, for the Hawaiians, for Cherokee, you know, the whole operating system for Apple is in their language. And so then when the iPhone was first invented, it just poured right into it. And so they could, you know, when you're talking to Siri or whatever, they'd be able to use their language. So no reason why we can't do that too.
Mhm.
I've talked to those companies too. And
Yeah.
it's a big job, you know, it takes 200,000 translations for the Microsoft operating
Oh.
system. It's about the same for Apple.
Wow.
So it's not simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big job, but it probably could be done.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that can like leverage another tool to a new plateau.
Mhm. Great. One more question. Repetition. Do you believe in repetition for a young group of kids, people?
Well, yes, yes and no. I would say, of course, we're going to need to hear something over and over. We're going to need constant exposure. But I think there's a danger in trying to dumb it down or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of programs where first grade, they're learning Basic Nij Niswi Niwin,
Mm-hmm.
and they're learning Makwa, you know, Wawash
So
Geishi.
basic.
Yep. And then by the time they're in 12th grade, they're learning Basic Nij Niswi Niwin, Makwa, Wawash Geishi, Amik, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like progressing or scaling up. So if there's too much emphasis on like, let's just get you the basics, a list of words,
Mm-hmm.
then people aren't challenged in a language-rich environment to really grow.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't build language programs around comfort. We have to build them around what works. And so while people are going to need to hear things over and over and we'll have to be patient, we can't just try to simplify the language. There's no code, you know, that's going to uncork it for everyone. We just have to do it and live it.
True. Okay, Jimmy
Aha,
Wetch.
Jimmy Wetch, aha.
Jimmy Wetch, give us a ride and watch
Aha.
in Wampi.
Miigwech.